Good evening, good evening, good evening. Uh, thank all you guys for joining. Good evening, good evening. Uh, the first episode of Awaken the Soul's podcast. This is a podcast that's very near and dear to me. A little bit of history on why I started this podcast. Uh, I started this podcast and thought of this podcast back in June. I was at Toma, VA, with a group of my friends, and we had groups. And what happened was, I always found myself being the leader in the group. I always found myself asking the right questions to get people to bring certain stuff out. Uh, if you don't know the history of being a veteran, this podcast will surely enlighten you on some things that you might not have knew about people who served our country, who served in the military, who went to war, the things that they deal with, um, and so forth. So um, as I start, I was having trouble getting people to join on. Veterans are a hard group of people to tap into. They're a hard group of people to tap into. They're a hard group of people to get and come out and talk because of the traumas that they deal with, the trust issues that they have. Um, and that's fine. But this podcast is set up to really be informative to people about veterans and what they go through and who they were before they joined the service and who they are after the service, what they did while they were in the service. You might hear some stories that might be grueling. You might hear some stories that might be heartbreaking and gut wrenching, but you guys need to know this. I always tell this: not every veteran that's homeless uh, is homeless because they want to be homeless. They are homeless because they choose to be because they feel like they don't fit in. Um, so hopefully every week we'll be doing one of these with a guest to come on and tell their stories. You can watch it on Facebook, LinkedIn, on my Reginald Holton page at LinkedIn. It will be a YouTube page up here soon, and things of that nature. But who better than start with yourself? Me being a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, um, served for 2 years. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself, my journey, my struggles, uh, and we're going to awaken my soul today. So, without further ado, we're going to tell Reginald Holton's story. Okay. So, in the beginning, I was like any other kid. I grew up in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Uh, just really, you know, really fun kid, love smiling, love being around family, love playing basketball, football, all sports. I was a sports head. Um, as I was coming up, I dealt with some traumas, uh, sexual assault, rape, um, things of that nature. Um, growing up, high school was pretty fun for me. I was a pretty decent athlete, and people might say, "Well, why did you good student? Why did you decide to join the military?" Well, between my junior and senior year again, if live growing up in poverty in Wisconsin, sometimes back in the 90s, you had to do things to help and support your family. And I was in stores, stealing, trying to fit in with everybody else, got some tickets, didn't pay the tickets, went to jail between my junior and senior year, lost potential football scholarships. And I did over, 36 days in house correction. And when I was in a house correction, an older guy told me, he said, "You know what, son, there is a bigger place up somewhere for you. And I guarantee you won't like that place. I guarantee you won't like it." Uh, so I made it up in my mind because the recruiters used to always come to our school and pitch, pitch, pitch. I wanted to join the Air Force. I always wanted to be a pilot. I thought that was the coolest thing ever, to become a pilot. You know what I'm saying? And when you become a pilot, you get all the glitz, the glams, Top Gun. I love movies like that, the Top Guns and things of that nature. So what happened was when I got out of the house of correction, I beeline straight to, I went home, took a shower, waited early in the morning, beeline straight to the Marine Corps recruiting office. Signed up for the Marine Corps. I had already passed ASVAB. When I passed ASVAB, I basically decided to go into the Corps. I was going to be open contract. I was open contract. And then I said, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it like everybody else. So 0311 was what it was for me. Went to boot camp in San Diego, California. And if anybody knows the history of the yellow footprints, when you step on the history of those historic yellow footprints in San Diego, California, you better be prepared for your life to change forever. And I say that, and not knocking no other service, but in the Marine Corps, we true and through. When I say we true and through, we are really into, being America's number one fighting force. They call us the 911 clique for a reason. We the first in flight, first in, last out. And we train that way. So I tell people this, I don't want to call it brainwashing, but in order to do what we have to do when we go in war, you're going to have to learn certain things. And the first thing you said every morning in Marine Corps boot camp was kill. And the last thing you said was kill. We built with strong discipline. We hardcore. I was 3rd Battalion Mike Company, 3078. And we was the top dogs on Marine Corps Recruiting Depot. We was the top dogs. 3rd Battalion was looked at. They were full of infantrymen, artillery. We were the field, the ground and pound. Well, lead us say motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say it just like that. This podcast is raw and uncut. So I went through boot camp. Some traumatic stuff happened when I was in boot camp. I tell people this story because I lost my maternal grandmother going while I was in boot camp, and I lost my maternal grandfather the day I got discharged from the Marine Corps. And it's interesting with my maternal grandmother was because she played an integral part in my life between the ages of the time I was born and the time I was 8 years old. I did not live with my mother. I lived with my fraternal grandmother and my aunts who raised me as a little brother. And I lived with my maternal grandmother after that. So fast forward, went through boot camp, ended up going to SOI School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California. But before I went there, my grandmother died again. When she died, people don't know when anybody in your family die, they bring the chaplain, they call you into your drill instructor's office, and they tell you like, hey, this is what's going on. So they told me my grandmother died. And at that point, we at the end of boot camp. I'm like week 12. I was in T11. We was getting ready to go on a crucible. And I guess they thought I wouldn't come back. So what they did was they lied and said my mother told me that my grandmother would have wanted me to stay and finish my training, then come home and deal with that when I got home. So it kind of messed me up. Like she didn't want me to come home, but finished boot camp, came home, stayed home for an extra couple of weeks on recruit duty, and went off to SOI School of Infantry in Camp Pendleton, California. Then I ended up getting stationed on Camp Lejeune. Now, I joined the service. I'm a B100. They told me I could join the All-Marine basketball team. They had football, the camaraderie, the brotherhood. I was hard charging, like hardcore, no doubt. But I was not expecting to go to war. So we went to field ops, field training, did things, you know what I'm saying? It was never went to sniper school, was never like we going to war, we going to war. Got deployed, did a couple floats, you know, and that's when I was on a float when September 11, 2001 happened. I mean 2000, yeah, 2001 happened. And it was like, damn, my heart dropped because at that moment I knew that things possibly would change. But now, mind you, me, now, not saying that you have to go to war, you have to be in combat to um, be impacted by PTSD or mental health issues that some of our veterans deal with, which is my diagnosis. I was diagnosed with PTSD with a severe personality disorder. So um, I was diagnosed with that. So upon going to Afghanistan, I was in uh, the Helmand province. Uh, I was detached to 2nd Battalion, 8th Marines at the time, and I went over there, and all hell after September 11, all hell broke loose. Now my MOS, of course, I was when I tell you I was special ops, it's things I did I cannot talk about. I care not to talk about, but just picture this: you seeing people killed, you've been part of kids dying, people blown up in front of you, and you have to live with that stuff. So when I came back, they sent me back home. I was over there 2.5, 3 months. I wasn't really over there that long. Came back home, and it started to affect me on base. So when it affected me, when it affected me, it was like, man, like I don't want to do this no more. Uh, I feel like they lying to us. This some BS. This is horrible. Like the things I've done, bro, is like I'm a Christian. I grew up a Christian. So you taking a life and being part of other people taking lives, unlawfully. We believed it was because they blew up the World Trade Centers and killed all them people. And you like, dang, you like, man, this ain't right. So you deal with the cold sweats, the can't sleep at night, the paranoia, the distrust, the things that I deal with on a day-to-day basis that I'm still fighting through. And so I ended up getting admitted to the mental health ward on Campus June, and the doctors recommended that I discharge from the Marine Corps medically. Now, in between that time, you got to wait till everything comes back. So they detached me. I became Motor T. They took my MOS. I became Motor T. I was MWSS 272 on the River Air Station. I was over there. And I remember blatantly one day this is how you know I was effed up. It was a corporal we had. His name was Corporal Ray. Corporal Ray was basically um, he was our unit leader for heavy trucks. And as Corporal Ray come in there one day, we on lunch. I'm in there sleeping, taking a nap. I ain't go to the child hall. I just was in there chilling. He said, and I'm the senior E3 at the time. And I'm like, bro, he come in there like, you're going on the road. I get up like, ass nigga, I ain't going nowhere. What the fuck you talking about? I'm not doing that shit. So I got NJP, which is non-judicial punishment. Uh, that was crazy. I mean, I want to fuck that white boy up because I thought he was a pussy anyway. So that's just really, when we look at certain MOSs and stuff, we think they pussies. But, you could tell who been bullied while they was in school and who went through that type of stuff. They be kind of like messed up. So as I discharge out, I come home a week before I'm officially supposed to leave. I'm turning in all my gear and stuff. I get a call. My grandfather died. He had cancer. He had lung cancer. Um, so they rushed me. They rushed me. At the time, I'm married. My first wife was pregnant with my son. I had a stepdaughter. I had took them home in March. And now, mind you, I got out in June. They let me take them home. Once they gave me the paperwork that I was getting out, they made me let me take them home. I dropped them off. My marriage was in shambles. I told her I didn't want to be married no more. I'm 21-year-old kid. All I knew was the Marine Corps. Um, I dropped them off, came home, and went wild, like not knowing that I'm living this life, like I'm living a fast life for 8.5 years. I'm just living. I'm a very abusive person. I'm ready to fight. I was in gunfights, shootouts, and stuff. People were shooting at me and stuff like that, and I was standing there laughing, never to think it was nothing wrong. Never to think it was nothing wrong. I never thought it was anything wrong with that. Cause I've been in this shit. So it's like you shooting a gun, boom, 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 bang, 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 all that. I'm cool. Hey, you ain't bothering me. That's funny to me. You can't shoot. I can shoot. And you a pussy because you using a gun for what? For nothing. So, man, I'm talking about I was ruthless. Between 21 and like 30, man, I was a wild boy. I would snap off. I was quick. Like my mother, I was having a fight one day, and my mother told me, she said, it took like 10 people to get you up off this person. And you blacked out. You know what I'm saying? You blacked out. You're not the same Kool-Aid. You not smiling. You not having fun. You not the life of the party. It take you 2 seconds to go 0 for 100. And I'm like, damn, something wrong with me, like literally wrong. But I had been to the VA. Now this is where the VA comes in. When I got out, they never really tell a lot of black veterans about the VA. Now this in early 2002, you know what I'm saying? 2002, they never tell, you know what I'm saying? They never tell us about that. You know what I'm saying? They never tell us about that. My thing was get a job, work. I was instilled, I was strong, disciplined, I was hard charging. And it was kind of fucked up. It was kind of fucked up for me because when I went, uh, I met a guy by the name of Jerry Berry. I was at the DMV on Tatonia, and he asked me to see my DD 214. When he looked at my DD 214, he like, bro, you supposed to be at the VA. You supposed to be getting medical, dental. You supposed to be getting all this stuff that I never knew nothing about. Now they quick to give us some money and some pills. I'm gonna tell you something about the VA. They gonna give you some money. They'll give you some money. They'll give you some pills. They just don't want to have to deal with you. And that's another part of the reason why I did this show, because a lot of veterans don't know about their resources and things that they have to their disposal to help them through the trying times. Um, so yeah, um, I was different. At that moment, I knew I was different. Um, when I worked jobs, I would get mad because people would come to work late. When it would irritate me to hear a person complaining about being at work. It would irritate me to see a man not care for their family. It would irritate. All that stuff was irritating to me. The world was not the same. I didn't see it the same no more. Um, Again, the military instilled a lot of good in me. It didn't hurt me. It didn't. It didn't really. It did a lot of good, but it did bad. And I want to say that it did a lot of good. It did bad. I have this saying that I've been saying for like the last couple of years, that these young men that get guns and shoot up houses and things like that, I feel like they should be made to go to the military and not the prison. They want to play with guns, put them in a situation they can play with guns, and I guarantee you, their whole life will change. But that's just me. Because if I didn't go to the military, I don't know what I'd be doing. I don't know what type of lifestyle. Yes, I do, because I love money and I love to have nice things. So I probably would have been hustling. I probably would have been hustling. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have been hustling in the streets, probably in and out of prison. That's probably what it would have been. And I thank that old man for doing that. But to say the less, I've attempted suicide about 8 times. Like literally attempted it. My suicide attempts be with pills. I would take 150, 200, 300 pills. at one time. And by the grace of God, I'm still here to tell my story. Um, I have detachment issues. Marines are really built on loyalty. We are some of the most loyal people. We are a band of brothers. We brothers. We stick together. And when we feel like a person has betrayed us, sometimes we can't take it. You know what I'm saying? We can't take the rejection. We can't take the you less of a man. We can't take the we can't take the, you know, we can't take that. We just can't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I back in like 2012, I ended up going 2011. I ended up going to a PTSD program at the VA with some more OEF, OIF veterans. If people don't know those acronyms, it's Operation Enduring Freedom, uh, Operation Iraqi Freedom. So those are the acronyms for that. And we start to bond and, you know, have groups and get the help. Uh, at the time, I'm married for a second time, um, and I'm just living. See, sometimes as a veteran or a military man, we taught to go, go, go. Never complain about anything. Never complain about anything. And then we got triggers. So for about 10, 11 years, I lived life with a whole bunch of issues that I felt I was good. I remember getting medicine from the VA that gave me some Abilify. And if anybody know about the medicine Abilify, they give you for a lot of things, but they give it to you. At that time, they had re-diagnosed me with schizophrenia, paranoid schizophrenia. And I'm like, bro, I'm not schizophrenic, bro. I'm not that. Um, and I took the Abilify. And when I took it, bro, I literally wanted to kill something. Like I wanted to go on a murderous rampage. I started picking with my ex-wife. I started doing a lot of shit. And when I snapped out, I've always been a smart kid. When I snapped out of it, some said, look up on YouTube what Abilify does to people. So I YouTubed it. I looked at it, I said, bro, I don't trust these motherfuckers at the VA. I'm not taking this medicine. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. They can't give me no pills. If it ain't therapy, I don't want it. I don't want it. I mean, at the time they was giving me stuff to sleep with. I couldn't sleep. They didn't, I don't know what it is about me. I think I'm a human robot. It's a lot of shit. I can't sleep. I had trouble sleeping. To this day, I deal with drastic paranoia, um, nightmares, cold sweats. I deal with all that. So, fast forward, and I'm gonna get into the gritty part of when I knew I needed help. Now, over the course of them 2012, 2021, 20, I, I'm going through the motions. I'm working a job. I'm keeping busy. I'm coaching basketball. I'm a family man, a father. I just keep busy. You know what I'm saying? And then about 18, I'm working at a school and I'm working at the VA and I'm leaving the VA one night, April the 23rd of 2018. No, 2019. I get a call. My daddy was in the hospital dying. But prior to that, I lost my little brother February 14th, February 1st, 2 years prior to that. And I'm at these funerals and I'm gonna tell y'all something. This is the craziest thing. I'm at the funerals just staring at the casket like ain't no tears, ain't nothing. I'm just staring there. These are people that I love, that are close to me, that's dear to me. I'm not crying, I'm like stone faced it. I got some of the weirdest thoughts going in my head. Dog, I saw them when they literally, my daddy took his last breath, didn't do nothing. I didn't cry, I didn't do nothing. I'm just stone faced. That's an emotional period. But that's what PTSD and war and what they call shell shock does to you. You become numb to your own emotions and your own feelings. So fast forward, I'm going through the motions. I'm dealing with that. Um, I attempted suicide a couple times in that little gap, that little time frame between 2018 and 2021, 22. My marriage was on the rocks. Um, I was going through a lot of mental changes, doing a lot of stuff that was unlike me. And then it was fine. I can remember it like it was yesterday. Me and my ex-wife went through the final separation that led to my divorce. And I'm like, by that time, I had lost what I consider the most important person outside of my kids, and at the time, my wife. In 2021, May 18th, the day before my 40th birthday, I lost my grandmother. When I lost my grandmother, it fucked me up. It was just like losing one of my fellow Marines. It was like I had let somebody down. I couldn't save her. I couldn't help her. I couldn't pull her out. And it triggered me. So I started doing stuff that was, again, I went back to that 20 to 28 range, that I was subconsciously doing things that I didn't know I was doing. I knew I was doing it, but I didn't give a care. I didn't care. I didn't give a fuck. I just was doing it. And then the moment that I lost my family, all that stuff caved in on me. I started to drink more. I started, man, and I didn't sleep for 16 straight days. Couldn't sleep. I slept in a basement. I slept in my basement. I covered the windows up, shut the door, locked myself in the basement, and slept in the basement. Was in a basement for 16 straight days. Didn't eat, didn't do nothing. I was lit. At the time, I'm in school for carpentry. Like, I'm literally trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to move and groove. I'm trying, because I was trying to make moves. And it was a rough time for me. Still, I didn't seek help. I didn't get no help. Every time they said, go to the VA, get some help, I would go. And I'll say, bro, I'm not staying here and y'all not giving me no medicine. So either y'all give me an appointment to see a therapist or I'm out. So that happened. And June 13th, about June 13th, 2013, this was the most dramatic attempt at suicide that I had. I was in the house, I was sitting on my bed, and I can remember my ex-wife telling me, I don't want you. Now, going through some things with my parents, the things the Marine Corps putting me out, basically telling me they didn't want me no more, which I felt like I was going to do 20 years and be this decorated Marine and all these things that I wanted to do. I had goals. I sent my best friend, Tremaine Collier, video. And as I'm sending him the video, I'm taking 90-some Seroquel pills. And Seroquel is meant to put you to sleep. And I'm telling him, like, bro, I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to wake back up. So at that moment, I didn't wake up. For 3 days, I was admitted to Freighter Hospital on a ventilator. I woke up, and at the time, it was just me and the nurse. Nobody was there. And I was like, damn. Like, I'm going through this alone. Do nobody not understand me? Do nobody not hear me? And it was like, damn. So from there, I went to, they put me in Granite Hills Hospital for 7 days, to where I had to go to a hearing, and they, monitored me for a year. Now, this is all fog of war, man. I tell people this because, man, the Kool-Aid, when I was going to high school, I wouldn't have never did this. I wouldn't, I was the type of kid, bro, you could tell me, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm cool. Keep it moving. As long as I'm playing basketball, having fun, being around my family and friends, I'm cool. But by this time, I really know I'm different. I really know I'm different. I really know that I don't fit in. Nobody understands me. I can have a conversation with people, and people sometimes I feel like they looking at me like, what are you talking about? Why are you so friendly giving? Why are you so loving? Why are you so caring? Because I want to get that love back in return. I want to feel like I'm part of that brotherhood again. And I can't find that. You know what I'm saying? Up until that point, nothing was fulfilling for me. It wasn't the military. It wasn't a structure. It wasn't a getting up every morning at 500, going for them runs 4 or 5 days a week. It wasn't a going to field ops and training. It wasn't seeing my battle buddies every day and we going to chow together and we laughing and joking. We going to the NCO club and we having fun. We partying and we kicking it and we really a band of brothers. One of us fight, we all fight. No person left behind. If I ain't got it, you got it. We all got it. You know what I'm saying? That's where I come from. But you can't find that type of love and care no more on the streets. You can't find that. It's different. Civilian sector is different than the military, being in the military, being on a military base, being part of a unit. So at that moment, I came back to my home. I tried to go on with everyday life, but I was still just going through the motions, to the point where I even had an incident with my second oldest daughter, where it was a physical altercation. Like me and her literally was fighting. This is my daughter. This is my daughter. This is my flesh and blood. This is my kid. To the point where I blacked out. Me and my kid is having an incident, you know what I'm saying, over a car. At that moment, man, I locked myself in the house and I didn't come out. So for 2 months, I wouldn't knock the door. I wouldn't go. People were like, man, come on, let's go out. I wouldn't do it. So when PTSD flares up, if you guys don't know, you go through a manic state. So at that moment, when I come out, I'm in my manic state now. I'm staying up, I'm gambling, I'm drinking, I'm kicking it, to the point where I look around at my house one day and say, you know what? I don't want to be in this motherfucker no more. I rent my house out that I own. Now think about this. And I say I'm gonna go live in hotels and live the life. So I remember between last February up until about May of last year, I'm living in Potawatomi, man, staying in a hotel, sleeping on couches of friends, but I got a house. I'm getting this money. I got money. I'm winning $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 out Potawatomi. I'm losing it, standing up, laughing, drunk, all kind of crazy shit. This is what PTSD does to you. And you not realizing what's going on. So one day, I get on the phone with my guy, Tim, and he said, bro, something wrong with you. You need to fix it. And Tim is one of the dudes that can tell me something. And when I hear it, I really, really hear it. And at that moment, I said, you know what, bro? I think I do need to go check myself in the VA. But one thing I can't do, I can't check myself into the VA here in Milwaukee, because the minute something happened, I can get up and walk out the front door and leave whenever I want to, because it's a voluntary admittance. So I went through the intake process and I ended up going to Toma, Wisconsin, Toma VA. And when I got there, you know, I the night before I went there, I was kind of like, bro, I don't really want to do this shit, but I needed to go do it. And when I went to do it, I started finding out things about myself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I started to have to face all the negative bullshit that I did from the point I got out the military till now, to that moment. And when I did it, I started to rebuild myself. I started to be around physically, take care of myself better physically. I started to eat. I started to pray again. I started to work out. I started to read books. I started to, now picture this. Over the course of these last years, man, I didn't obtain PhDs, master's degrees. This is how I'm just living, thinking there's nothing wrong with me. And a lot of veterans out here, you can work next to a veteran and never knew it was nothing wrong, because we are trained to never complain about our situation. We taught to fix it. Don't say shit. You a weak-minded individual. You're a weak-minded person if you talk about it. That's how they talk to us. You become a shitbag if you become a complainer. You become a shitbag if you go to medical. You running from doing your job. We not built like that. You soft. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that does something to you. So that's instilled in your brain. I, it's a form of brainwashing that people don't understand. It's really a form of brainwashing that you don't understand. And I tell people this: if I ever have to get to that point where I have to defend myself and kill somebody, I will probably have no remorse behind it. That's just the truth of being who I am and what I'm trained to be. There is no deprogramming. Once you program to do this, this is who you made to do. I'm the type of person, bro. My house can burn down right now, and I can go sleep out on the road and don't care about it. I get it how I live. I can separate myself from society and don't care. I don't need social media. I don't need nobody. I can be by myself. I can be isolated. So as I'm at Toma VA, I'm realizing these things. You know what I'm saying? I'm realizing these things and I'm like, damn, bro, this is not who I wanted to be as a kid. How do I fix this? And going to different groups and talking to other fellow Marines who deal with the same things I dealt with. And me being really big on military advocacy, I'm like, bro, I need to help my fellow brothers, whether it's Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, Air Force. I need to help them to let them know, hey, man, we need help. It's okay to be, it's like my guy friend Mark says, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay, bro. It's okay to need help. It's okay to go check yourself in. But when you check yourself in, know that you have rights. Know that you can demand the treatment that you need. You served your country. You deserve that. And that's what I did. For 90 days, I went straight, nothing but about me for a change, about fixing me. Because I can't be good for my kids. I couldn't be good for my jobs. I couldn't be good for my if I had a wife. I couldn't be good for nobody if I didn't fix me. So upon coming out of Toma, while I was in Toma, I got 3 friends, man, that I met in Toma. And I got a whole bunch of other associates that's fellow military men. Um, Matt Turning, he's on this. It's a Bradley Henderson and a Dan Carbon. We met and we became what we call the 4 horsemen. I talk to these dudes every day. We check on each other every day through the ups and downs. We never judge each other. We never talk down on each other. When we hit rock patches, we can pick up the phone and call if something happened to one of them and I got a way to go to them. I'm going to them, and I believe they would do the same thing for me. I believe they would do the same thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's the brotherhood that I have been missing. I got Timmy. I got Tyson is in Atlanta now. I got Big Mario. Shout out to Big Mario, man, who's always, been a brother to talk to me. You know what I'm saying? But they don't understand. They don't understand, you know, the mental distress that you deal with from doing the things that we do in the military. They don't understand the heartache of losing a battle buddy. They don't understand taking a life. They don't understand you a trained killer. It is what it is. They don't understand that. And honestly, that's how I've been surviving with these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's how I've been surviving with these guys. I mean, like, I don't look at life no more as I don't need to be here. I don't look at life no more as I have no purpose. Because with this podcast, this is my purpose. Helping these kids that I help in these schools is my purpose. You know, sometimes you have to lose everything to gain everything. Sometimes you have to realize and be happy with what you have to get your blessings from God, and be transparent with yourself about what you have going on, because you will never know who cares about you until you put it out there and they really understand. And this platform is for that. See, I can talk to another veteran. I can talk to another. Because they understand me. So me sitting across from another veteran on this platform and talking to them is gonna help y'all better understand veterans. And they not just the people on the corner with the signs. They dealing with a lot of stuff. And if you can help them, help them. Help them. They put their life on the line to protect your freedom. They're not crazy. They're not bad people. They'll do anything for you. But you have to be able to interact with them. You have to really know how to deal with them. And that's really why I'm here. You know, I tell people, like I keep telling people, man, it's deeper than just the uniform. It's deeper than the leg being blown off. It's deeper than being shot in the shoulder. It's deeper than seeing your friend. It's deeper than seeing your friend dying. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that. You got to live with that stuff. I tell people this all the time. What if you saw your kid killed in front of you? What if you saw your brother, sister, uncle, cousin? That would mess you up royally. That will mess you up royally. You become numb. You become emotional. You become fearful. That's where a lot of these people, they say, oh, well, a military man blew up this and blew up that. Man, listen, y'all don't know what them people dealing with to come home and be treated like trash, like straight trash. There are very few people who are civilians that care about what you went through in the military. They don't care because they don't understand. And we need platforms like this so people will understand. So we can help with resources for these people. So we can tell the brother, hey man, go check yourself in. And when you check yourself in, here's my number. Call me. When you be ready to walk out that door, call me so I can convince you to stay. Like ultimately, I have a purpose. I'm here, just like people keep saying on here. Like I'm telling y'all, I was dead for 3 days. I was gone. I was on a ventilator tubes and everything. And when I woke up, bro, I don't think about suicide no more. I think about helping another life. God gave me my life back to give a life. That's what God did. So at the same time, bro, like y'all don't know, man. And first and foremost, bro, I don't make no excuses for the things I did. I did them, but I'm gonna make them right. I'm gonna make them right. People know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna make them right. I'm not never gonna put that on what I did. I'm gonna make them right because the Marine in me, the honor, the courage, commitment, the integrity in me, everything I do every day, every chance that I take is to make those bad situations right with my kids, with my mama, you know, with my friends that tried to help me, that I didn't receive their help. I'm gonna make them right, you know. And man, I'm gonna open it up for some questions. You know, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me. If you know of a veteran who wanna get on this podcast, man, and share their story, tell their story, this is their platform. You know, my soul is awakened. I'm telling y'all, man, like I wake up every day with a purpose. Even when I feel like giving up, I don't. So like I said, I'm opening it up for questions. If you have any questions, any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm an open book. For me, transitioning, honestly, it's just support. Like, it's not just about me. See, people always think, and my guy Timmy, I'm always thinking about making it better for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Making it better for another veteran. My transition is getting it out there. If you see a veteran, man, even if it's give them a sandwich and some water, give them a blanket, because a lot of them aren't gonna go to homeless shelters. They not gonna do that. They comfortable with being in their situation. You know what I'm saying? So I really want you guys to understand that they will come in when they want to. You know what I'm saying? So it's that trust has been broken so much, and sometimes it's just being, that beacon of help. You know what I'm saying? That really does something to a veteran. You know what I'm saying? They start to build that camaraderie and feel like they can trust you, and then they start opening up, and you can find out different things, you know what I'm saying, about them, and get them the help that they need. But I really feel like, that can help me a lot, because ain't nobody discouraging me from doing this. I've been asking. I came up with this podcast, the logo and everything 5 months ago, and I've been asking for people to give me veterans that want to be interviewed, give them my number, reach out to me, let's tell their story. And nobody wants to do that. So God put it on my heart last night to say, you know what I'm saying, tell your story. You be the start. You show them that this could be done, and that's what I'm doing today. Um, Hopefully you will hear from you know, you will hear from Dan that's confirmed that he wants to be on. When y'all hear Dan's story, man, y'all gonna it's gut wrenching, man. Um, the Milwaukee VA is one. Um, their number is 384-2000. Eric gonna come on, tell his story. He's an Army vet. You got Center for Veterans Issues. They used to be big in the homeless game here in Milwaukee. You got Dry Hooch they can go to. They got the Vet Center out here on 76 and 76 and Brown Deer. You know, they got they got VA satellite locations called MPD. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. When y'all call the police, man, let them know that it's a veteran. Let them know, because a lot of police officers have served in the military, and or know somebody who have served in the military and know where to take them to. Um, the Awaken Your Soul's podcast website is being worked on. I'm gonna share that with you guys here in the next couple of days, to where you can click on it and have a list of resources. Um, just like I said, man, it's a lot, man. You know, veterans are losing their families because they're not getting the proper help. They're the lack of them receiving their benefits when they get out leads to a all-time high of veteran suicides. You'll never hear about these things. There's a veteran, they say, that kills themselves every 9 minutes in the United States. I'm looking to do these podcasts once a week, because it's millions of veterans out there. So, and I hope to keep this going and make it a bigger platform. I wanted to do it more of a sit down, more of a more open, comfortable space, but I understand that a lot of veterans can't come to me. I understand that they got phones. You can do this from a phone. You can do this from the comfort of your own home. I can go to them with this. You know what I'm saying? Matt said 22 a day. I wish I could. Um, just like I said, I'm dumping pain every day. I'm in that classroom. I'm dumping pain every day. I talk to Matt, Dan, Timmy. I'm dumping pain every day I hit the gym. I'm dumping pain every day. I'm working on my other business ventures that I'm working on. Everything that I do has a purpose. And it's, I hate to say this, I used to tell people this all the time. Like, I don't think, I always say I'm gonna hit the lottery. I don't think I would be one to hit the lottery, because if I hit the lottery, a lot of people gonna be rich. You know what I'm saying? That's just, uh, oh, you saying, yeah, it's 22 a day. No, I said not every 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's what they told me. But Matt said it's 22 veterans that commit suicide a day. So 365 times 22. Do that number. And these people served the country. They didn't die at war, but they came home and took their own life. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. 22 a day. 22 fellow that names will never make a memorial service, never make a wall, never make a, family don't even get the death benefit when a veteran commits suicide. You know what I'm saying? Veterans never, you gotta think, these people before they were joyous people. They were part of teams. A lot of athletes joined the military. A lot of people who have been part of, different things joined the military. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people who everybody has a family. These people got families, bro. Most of these men and women that are killing themselves have kids. I tell people, if you want to know what really happened and you want to see some of the monstrous stuff, they got a show called Alive Day. Look it up. It's a documentary called Alive Day. When them IEDs blowing people's legs off and blowing people's eyes out and blowing, like, that's, you to be part of something like that is disheartening. It's disheartening. And then you got to come home and deal with that. It's like I tell people this, man. When you hear the stories of the ones who go through that and still want to go fight for their country, that's a different thing, because that's all they feel like they have. That's all they feel like they have. You know what I'm saying? That's all they feel like they have. And it's times, man, I'll be like, damn, bro, I wish I never would have got medically discharged out when I was younger, man. I wanted to go back. I wanted to be in the fight. If I lost my life, so what? Come on, man. Hit me with the questions, man. I'm an open book, man. Hit me with the questions. Come on, man. I know when I get somebody else on here, y'all gonna have questions. And I got some questions that I'm gonna lead to and lead them into telling their story and stuff like that. But since nobody asking questions, I'm gonna give a couple shout outs, man, to a couple people on here. I'm gonna give a shout out to Timmy Cobbs and the Timmy Cobbs Fitness and the Herbalife family for giving me the paralysis to tap into some of my military skill and my physical fitness again, to getting me gun-ho about that. I'm gonna give a shout out to I'm gonna give a shout out to my family. Even though we don't talk much, y'all understand me, man. Y'all understand that I'm cool with being isolated in my box and being on my own. And, I live like a old military veteran, man. So what I do differently for self-care is I not only do this podcast, but I over the last couple of weeks I've been on Project Move the Needle with Orlando Owens. I've been on his podcast teaching. I'm gonna get back into coaching basketball and football. And I'm gonna get back into that, building my versatile brand. Hopefully in the next couple months, I'll be I have a carpentry contractor licenses. I want to start doing contracting and helping people out through fixing up their homes at a decent price. I think this podcast is going to be big. I want to shout out, man, Mr. Eric Sands. You know, the fact is, and I'm gonna tell y'all how God works. Let me tell y'all how I knew this podcast was for me. Um, this podcast was for me because, and Matt can attest to this. He on here. The day I said I was starting my podcast, and I came up with the name. Eric Sands does like a podcast masterclass, and he was doing a group that night, and they did a big podcast convention over the 4th of July last year. But when I joined, they said if you pay for the convention, you get a chance to win podcast equipment, which is the microphones, the cameras, the hard drive, the computer laptop. All I had to do was get my own mixer and things of that nature. It had all the software and everything free downloaded to the podcast on a hard drive. And I'm on there, man, and he chopping it up and he's teaching us stuff. And I can recall a young man won the man won. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you that in a minute, Tim. Um, uh, and when he won, my computer went dead. I had my laptop, and then once I opened my laptop again, they said, "Reggie, you won." I'm like, "What? I won?" So I won my podcast equipment, which is over $1,000 worth of equipment that I won through Eric Sands. I want to give him David Sands. I want to give him a shout out on here, man. Um, he runs a #1 podcast masterclass. He knows what he's doing. And that's so my coping techniques right now is I I work out, um I smoke, I smoke cigars. I'm a cigar connoisseur now. When I get in pay, like when I get like jittery, I smoke cigars. I think it's the coolest thing in the world because I can remember my Auntie Inez's boyfriend Grady. He used to smoke cigars, you know, and he was a cool guy, man. I can't wait. Y'all see I'm buying into the salt and pepper. I'm getting gray hairs. I'm buying into my gray hair. But the worst nickname, it wasn't a nickname, bro. They say we eat crayons, man. I think that's the weirdest thing ever. Marines eat crayons. They think we slow and dumb. I mean, because they'll let anybody in. Yeah, I dance. I dance. I do a it used to be gambling. I don't I sports. I do prize picks, but I don't gamble anymore. You know what I'm saying? Um, Gambling was one of the downers for me. So I try to stay full of life, and you know, um, gambling can put you in a bad situation too. So gambling addiction, I don't have that anymore. I don't claim none of that no more. Um, I like to travel. I'm gonna get back into traveling. My goal is to, for the near foreseeable future, I want to visit every NFL stadium throughout the United States. I love football. I want to visit every NBA arena. My dream is to, when LeBron announces that he is going to retire, I want to go to every stadium that LeBron is going to be at. That's going to be a hot ticket, the All-Star game. That's what I want to do. I want to live out my dreams and live out my bucket list, but this is part of my thing. Uh, my next trip, and I can't disclose this yet, but I think I'll be in Dallas the second week in July. Um, I'm gonna be part of a brotherhood again. I am part of a fraternity, Delta Psi Chi Fraternity Incorporated, but I'm joining. I'm right now in the midst of talking about joining another fraternity, which is a military-based fraternity that I'm gonna be part of that brotherhood. And in that brotherhood, they do a lot of community service and mentorship. So it probably will be Dallas. Um, I got to finish out the year. I'm not a firm believer of taking off a lot of days when the kids are in school because I know that my kids need me. They want to see me there. I got to be dependable and reliable. Um, that's gonna be my next trip first, you know. as far as outside of the state of Wisconsin. Chicago ain't no trip. That's up the street. You know. Um, any other questions? Um, Before I forget, um, if you know anybody who wants to be on this platform, um, Reggie Holton on Facebook, you'll see the logo, you'll see the Four Horsemen. Inbox me, reach out to me, share the page, like and share the page. Um, LinkedIn is Dr. Reginald K. Holton Jr. Like and share my LinkedIn profile, share it. Um, you can Awaken the Souls podcast, YouTube. This will be uploaded to YouTube. You can share it. And that's pretty much it, man. I mean, like I said, any questions, you know, um, you know, Danny, Matteo, yeah. And I'm gonna do this, man, because I'm a Packer fan through and through, man. It's kind of heartbreaking that they lost, but I think they needed to. They Packers overachieved this year, so I want to say that. So we're gonna be better next year. With that being said, you know. Any other questions? Mike Simone's complaints. If you my next step is again getting this out on all platforms. I keep saying my clothing line. My clothing line helps fund this stuff. This stuff is pretty expensive to run, but I do it. I don't care about the money aspect of it. Can it be a monetary gain from it? Yes, but if I do gain money, half the money that I gain will be going towards helping homeless veterans and veterans with PTSD. I want to get into some housing things for veterans, and I think Valerie, Miss Valerie, you on here? I know you want to start the homes. I think you need to focus on veterans. It's a group of things that you really can tap into with that aspect and things of that nature. I think you'll be a great advocate for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, versatile. So here's the thing. If versatile starts with a V for a reason, versatile also means that you can adapt to every situation, and that's what veterans do. The logos represent kings and queens. As I said, I'm supposed to go on a journey, which is interesting, and I made this before I started to understood what I'm about to do in the near future. But that's what it's about. I want to do a veterans charity basketball, flag football game. I want to do a lot of stuff with veterans. I mean, but this is going to be the groundwork, the foundation of getting those things off the ground. It really is. I mean, because like I said, we are underserved community. We all have a story, and all you might think all of them sound the same. They don't sound the same. My PTSD affects me differently than Matt's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I definitely want families. I definitely want veterans and their wives, veterans and their older kids. I definitely want that to be something that happens because once you hear from the families, you'll hear the impact. You know what I'm saying? You'll hear the different things. You know what I'm saying? So that is big. You know, I thank you guys for supporting, for interacting. Man, you guys don't know how grateful uh um you are grateful, and you are like I'm grateful for all y'all, man. I know y'all shared, man, everything has to start somewhere. You know, I got probably max views was 15 tonight. I know it's gonna be shared. I know it's gonna be continuously shared. I want you guys to share it, man. I have no problem putting my face on the forefront. But if you know any veterans that would benefit from coming on this show, please let me know. Have them reach out to me. We can talk. We can really like get the ball rolling, and let's get this done. I appreciate you guys. Much love and respect. Again, Timmy, thank you. Matt, thank you. Nicole, thank you. Sante, thank you. Miss Valerie, thank you. Desiree, thank you. Eric, thank you. We got Ed jumped on. Thanks to Ed, man. Thanks to everybody who jumped on, man. I appreciate y'all guys. And stay tuned for the next episode. Peace.